Hello, welcome back to GunnerKing's Court, man. It's been a while, man. Been really busy, but we're bringing it back. We're going to be doing different sections of it each week, transfer lowdowns for the up-and-coming transfer window, and we're going to be doing more shows like this where we do a preview show with rival fans as well. So got a few Liverpool guests in the building today, and we're going to be talking about Arsenal's upcoming game against Liverpool as well. So here we go. Let's go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to GunnerKing's Court. It's now back in session after what's been a few months, but we're going to be having it back on a regular basis now. So I've got two Liverpool fans here today, Husam and Pottsy, and obviously Canner's resident Armoury TV member. So guys, I guess maybe starting with Pottsy, do you want to just tell us a bit about yourself and where we can find you?
Yeah, you can just catch us on TikTok at KopTalks Pottsy. Obviously a Liverpool fan, but my content's just about football in general, and generally do live streams as well for watch-alongs for the Liverpool games.
Nice, yeah, and I mean, I'll be watching from home, so I might be open to doing a watch-along, providing you don't run away with it too much, yeah. Otherwise, I'll be coming up there. But Husam as well, big up yourself. Obviously, I've been on a few of your shows. Great guy. I mean, much of the same. Tell everyone about yourself, man.
Thanks for having me. Look forward to doing this. Been asked on plenty of previews, and I'm the only Liverpool fan who's coming with chest on YouTube. So I'm ready to do this again. So anyway, my channel name is right over here. This is Football. It's a channel for all football fans on YouTube, obviously. Not a specific fan base, so we do content for most of the big teams, sometimes the smaller teams. Usually it's us just praying Burnley get relegated, and this is my Twitter handle right here where we run football space as well. So thanks, GK. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's great to have you on. I've enjoyed being on your shows as well, and yeah, it's great to have you on today. And I mean, we're obviously here today to speak about the Arsenal Liverpool game. Big up everyone that's tuning in. I see we got some of the United Agenda boys bigging things up at the moment. Oh gosh, some of my TikTok followers, man. Big up football things, man, and Toby as well. Hey, I thought you was an Arsenal fan now, mate. Oh,
wow. Who's flip flopping?
But yeah, man. I mean, let's get into it, man. I mean, look, this is going to be a massive game for both teams. Especially after Liverpool's last result, unfortunate one against West Ham. I just want to give a quick shout out to West Ham for keeping our invincible record intact. The red half of North London salutes you. but like, look, it's one loss in 25 games for Liverpool. Obviously Arsenal are in surprisingly good form. Like it's 10 games unbeaten as well. So two informed teams meeting each other at the moment, probably of the league, I would say. I guess I just want to open up the floor a bit, man. Just get everyone's thoughts on it. What they think needs to happen, for their team to win. Maybe single out danger men, and maybe score predictions as well. And there's no real agenda today. We're just going to keep it loose, keep it hanging like that.
I think we should let the guests go first. We're hospitable hosts, aren't we?
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to hear what they say first, and then yeah.
How very nice of you, boys. So Arsenal at Anfield. Obviously, in the past, there's been a guaranteed 3 points, guaranteed to help out goal difference as well. So I generally look forward to this game. But this season, yeah, it's a little different. It's probably the most worried I've been about Arsenal for a long time. Arteta, I mean, to be fair, you had a poor season last season, but after around Christmas, you got on a good run of form. And then again, this season, you've had a bad start. And then since the Man City game, no one's beaten you. I think what's helped for you guys as well, the team seems to look more settled now, especially with the likes of Smith Rowe in there. Ben White and Gabriel seem to be forming a strong partnership. And Ramsdale, of course, giving you a bit more security at the back nowadays. So it's definitely a new challenge for us. The last game, of course, losing to West Ham. The game before that, dropping the 2 points after being 2-0 up against Brighton. Apart from the Man U and Watford game, we really haven't been the same team as we have over the last couple of seasons. And, the run of results we've had over the last couple of games have sort of been coming for us. So hopefully, like I said, with the international break, it's given us time to refresh, get a few players back, like Thiago, more fit now. And I think it'll be a great game, but I'm still expecting us to come away with the 3 points as usual.
Yeah, I think a lot of things you touched on there. I think it's historically it's not been a very good fixture for us. There have been some memorable games with Liverpool over the past, but it's been a while really. I don't really count beating you in the season that you won the league, because you had won it in the game before, and I think probably was partying away. But you guys were saying before that, I think it was 2012 since we last beat you in the league. Before that game,
at Anfield.
Mental. I mean, Canners, what would you say? How do you? Because the thing is, hearing what Pot said, as I said, I think Liverpool, City, and Chelsea are a cut above everyone else in the league at the moment.
Yeah.
But to flip on its head what Pot said, this is the most confident I felt about, not about the result, but about our first team 11 going into a game against Liverpool. Like, I'm looking at this team and I'm like, the way we're defending at the moment.
Yeah.
If there is a team that could stop Salah, based on form, you've got to look at if there is anyone on this planet that can, or anyone in this league that can, we've only conceded 4 goals and have kept 6 clean sheets in our last 10 games that have involved us playing, a very well. I don't want to say a very good Spurs.
I'm keeping receipts. I'm writing your name, DK.
Villa.
You've been added to the list. That's all I'm going to say. You've been added to the list.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough, but I like what I am saying is the last few times that we've come to play Liverpool, I've just been like, nah, no chance.
Yeah, listen, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. That's how it's felt. I've just felt like there goes 3 points. But the way we're playing and the players that we brought in and the way that they're performing, I'm just thinking if they go there and give it a go, who knows what could happen.
I think the thing I'm most really for years I've been really kind of like more you could say happy with is our defense. That's always been our Achilles heel since for a bloody long time. I would say going back to the Invincible team. After that team, that back 5, Lehman, Cole, Torre, Campbell, and Lauren went. Then once that back 5 had gone, we haven't had a back 5 anything like that or near that as solid. Obviously with someone like Gilberto Shielding, we've always chased that kind of myth of replacing Vieira. Never done it. So that kind of thing, we've never kind of replaced it. And this right now, I'm not saying that this team is anywhere near that. I'm not saying that in any stretch of imagination. But what I'm saying is right now is that we've got a system where the back five, right, are actually in tandem with each other, and it's got that kind of that look of that they actually enjoy defending and they love it, and a block tackle, last ditch tackle is like a goal to them. You see that, the fist pumping, the years and everything, and now we've got some characters in that back five, your likes of Ramsdale, the keepers we've had since Lehmann. We're talking Almunia, Fabianski, even Leno. They've all been quiet and they've not been as commanding as you'd want from a Seaman or a Lehmann. So with Ramsdale, he's come in, he's got a bit of character and stuff, and he cajoles the guys like Gabriel. Gabriel this season, he's been absolutely immense, and it'd be great to see him up against, whoever. Jota or whoever is going to be really, really tough for him because they're very fast, nippy forwards. Salah as well. Salah for years, he's been bullying our right back. Be it Chambers, be it Bellerin, whoever it is, he bullies them. And obviously Salah at the end of the day, But right now, our fullbacks are actually right. I don't expect us to get done by a winger. Tomiyasu in one-on-ones, I think he's superb. It's going to be a great battle. Tomiyasu's just got that attitude, that never say die attitude, and you know what? He's very smart with the challenge. So it's going to be a very big test for Tomiyasu. Against Mane, this is going to be the test for him, and I'm guessing Tavares will play against Salah, and that will be for him the ultimate test. You can't get no bigger than Salah. But the thing is, Salah's got an amazing turn of pace, and you look at it, Tavares does too. He's and the thing is with him, he's powerful with it as well. So it's going to be interesting. So I'd say, for me, I'm not saying we're confident that we're going to win, but what I'm saying is that it's not going to be as easy this time. I think we can put up more of a fight this year, and I think if we went down a 1-0 or something like that, with a good performance, I wouldn't be despondent with that. Yes, I'll be upset, but I wouldn't be unhappy to the point where it's like, because since 2012 coming to Anfield, it's just been an absolute nightmare. We just know it's going to be a problem game, but the thing is, can we do anything against your defenders? And the person who I was praying to have a little knock was Van Dijk. And for me, he's the one. I would love, wouldn't you have loved to see Henry against Van Dijk?
Well, the thing is,
that would have been a heck of a matchup, wouldn't it?
It'd still be in Van Dijk's pocket.
Even Matip's having a good season.
That's for another show.
That's another show. That's another show.
But listen, people aren't talking enough about Matip as well, I find.
Yeah.
Honestly,
he hasn't been as good as people are making out to be at all, to be honest. It's just at the start of the season he played well, but after that he kind of. I
think Van Dijk makes anyone look good. Van Dijk's that good. His presence, his positional play, and he's deceptively quick. Van Dijk, there's not many people. I haven't seen anyone actually outpace him. For like a 10-yard ball or whatever. But he just doesn't allow himself to get into those kind of one-on-one kind of situations. He's too smart for that. I actually rate Van Dijk so high, but as I said, it would have been lovely to see him and Henry together, having a little fisticuffs. But yeah, Aubameyang against Van Dijk, it's really going to be what our two dynamos can do, and we're talking Smith Rowe and Saka. Hopefully there's no knocks with them. I think going forward, Trent is tremendous, but he's very suspect defensively, and I think that may be something that we can actually target.
This thing with Trent and defend thing, this is just such a forced agenda, I swear to God.
To be honest,
let me just say with this game, yeah. Everything you guys are saying is so cute and stuff with Arsenal. Like, I love it. I respect it. Ramsdale, like, it's incredible. Like, I get it. Like, at the end of the day, I agree with GK, as he said, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I have no problem with Arsenal. I'd love for you to do well and knock Man United off the top four, because I think that's basically your competition for top four. So I'd love if that happens. But unfortunately for you guys, listen, you're going to be sacrificed at Anfield this Saturday. This is just what happens when Arsenal come to Anfield. Let me explain something to you. You would have been in a better position to get something out of the game if we didn't lose to West Ham. But I know for a fact, watching the Premier League over the last 3-4 years, every time Liverpool and City lose a game, the next game is like revenge season. Like, we smell blood. Like, we're out here to take names and take lives. Like, this is just the level of football we play after a loss. Man City's best performance this season came after a loss. They lost 2-0 to Palace and then went to Old Trafford, and we know exactly what happened there, a slow, painful death. So Liverpool, after a loss, with Klopp getting into those guys the whole time, revenge season is upon us. Listen, it's gonna be mad. It's gonna be mad. I'm not worried about Arsenal at all. Arsenal, like, for the last 10 years, it's been 3, it's been 4, it's been 5. So it's just been like, no, it's been easy light work for us. But listen, game this Saturday, I fully suspect us to win by 4 or 5 goals. I'm genuinely not even taking the piss. I genuinely think this game is going to end 4-0 or 4-1 to us. That's my honest prediction. I think the fact that we're coming off a West Ham loss and you're coming to Anfield, and it's Arsenal at Anfield, like, it's gonna be bad. It's genuinely just gonna be bad. Like, I just don't have any other way to say it. Like, it has all the writings of an Arsenal hammering. Like, you see, remember that game where it ended 5-1, and in the first 20 minutes we scored 4 goals. I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if we get a repeat scenario and we just go absolutely ballistic at the start because of our last result. Arsenal, are they more solid and everything? Yeah, and that's incredible and stuff. But listen, the last time the game I'm talking about Arshaf, and you guys sound like me 10 years ago. I'm just talking about history. Let's talk about the here and now. So
Lucas, by the way.
When it big up, yeah, what a game that was! What a game that was! When it comes to Arsenal, though, I've genuinely
your fans are tremendous, and that gives you, you talk to a lot of Arsenal players, the most favorite stadium, the likes of Armoury and everything, what they love to play at was Anfield. Because of the fans and the atmosphere, and that
the only problem I have with Henry is he says Scholes is better than Gerrard, but that's a different conversation, a different day. I love Henry. I think he's the best.
I don't agree with
just so, like, with the game, I think the problem is with Arsenal. I'm not even trying to be like a dickhead or anything, but like, the problem is I've heard all this before. Like, I've genuinely heard everything you guys have been saying before. So what makes you confident that this time it's different? Because when you came to us, that infamous 5-1 game, you were 8 points ahead in the league. So you were playing way better than us. And Anfield still is the place you get sacrificed every season. Like, that's just the unfortunate truth. Like, I don't know how else to put it, genuinely speaking.
No, well, I mean, look, as I was saying, I don't think we're scoring enough goals at the moment. That's my biggest concern. We've only got 13 goals so far in the league. We are defending a lot better, though. And I think, like what Canna's described as well, I think what has caught us out, where we've come unstuck against Liverpool, is for the past few years now, everyone has known that your attacking threat is in the wide areas, with them coming inside, Firmino playing his false 9 role, converting from being wing forwards to being central forwards, then him dropping in the number 10 space to kind of pull defenders to and fro. But in the one-on-one situations in the fullback areas, we would have like people like Bellerin, or like the left backs that we've had of pass, and I'm looking at, it's really weird to see that for once, if I had to pick out an area of our team that is the strongest, it is actually our defense now. I for all the problems I'm talking about us scoring goals, we are defending really well. And I've been to the last 4 home games, so like I saw it a lot more close and up hand. And I can tell you right now, Tomiyasu, I can literally count on one hand in the last 4 games that someone got on the other side of him. And that is no exaggeration. That's no hyperbole. That is.
But this will be the test. This will be his test.
I can remember once or twice someone getting on the other side of him. And that's I understand that Salah and Mane are going to be different to anyone that these fullbacks have faced. However, I think that in those key areas we look a bit more stable, a bit more able to handle, what other teams are throwing at us. I mean, Ismail Assar was absolutely pocketed. He tried to go to the other wing in the last game. He's switching wings left, right, and centre because he was getting absolutely no change from Tomiyasu. And then Tavares on the other side was like, "What? So you think you can come and get change from me, So look, I just think we are defending very well at the moment, and I think the belief and the form is there. I think a lot of these guys want to prove themselves. To show that, look, a lot of people are saying that the teams that you beat are just teams you should be beating, teams that you should have beaten. The opportunity there to get a scalp. And your last defeat can work one of 2 ways. I know that Liverpool have always responded of late in a very strong way from defeats. But equally, I think, we've taken confidence from not conceding, from winning games. And I think seeing you get beat can make us think it's possible. Just give them that bit more belief. But as I said, look, I still got you as favourites. What I'm looking at more is what Canna said. I'm just looking, at the worst, I'm not looking to be the next Man United out here. I'm not looking to see 5-0. Yeah, I'm not looking they didn't even have the ball. Do you know what I mean? But the way that they set up to not have the ball. Arsenal, the way that Arteta is setting our teams up is to dominate possession, and it's to play a possession-based game. So I just the main things I want to see is just us not giving you 80-90% possession and expecting to hit and counter you, and not making it a perfect score. But if we can nick something, a draw or a win, I don't want to think it's impossible. I just think it's more improbable, if that makes any sense.
So yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. But I mean, yeah. No. Go ahead. Bring in Yash. How you doing?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I just had a bit of Wi-Fi problems, but yeah, I was just listening to what you guys are saying. You guys are enlightening me, to be fair, with what you guys think, because I was not impressed at all after what happened last game. I don't know why, but it's kind of been building up, and then that West Ham loss, I don't know. There was something about that game we just seemed completely off with just the way we were playing, the way we were defending, especially Van Dijk was doing everything on his own, and that's usually not the case. He's usually the one who brings everyone together, and our fullbacks, attacking wise, don't get me wrong, they've been playing really well, but defensively, it has been an issue. And when a team like Arsenal, obviously in terms of attacking, you haven't been the most threatening in terms of other teams in the league, but you definitely have the firepower to do that. And if teams like Brighton, Brentford, and West Ham could do that, I can see it happening again. So hopefully in these couple of weeks, Klopp has been focusing on the defense, because in terms of attacking, we've been firing all season. It's just how many times have we gone up and conceded 2 goals? We 2-0 up and then we concede in the next 10 minutes. I don't know if it's head loss or just the lack of composure, but something needs to change. And I don't want Arsenal to be the team that really teaches us another lesson, because we can't afford to drop points.
Where is it going wrong for you guys? I mean, okay, no, let me rephrase that, because it's not going totally wrong. Okay, the last couple of results that you've had, there have been some chinks in your armor.
Yeah.
Right. The West Ham's first goal. Are teams now starting to kind of I don't know, maybe target set pieces against you lot, put things on the keeper, because Alisson looked rather dodgy in the last couple of games. I mean, Where do you think it's something somewhere's gone a little bit wrong with Liverpool so far? In the last couple, have you noticed anything in the last couple of games where there may be a problem, what other teams may be exploiting?
Yes. It's not the
Everyone,
defense.
you talk, yeah.
It's not the defense though, it's the midfield. It's the lack
Yeah,
of control of
that's what I
the
was gonna say.
midfield. That's the issue. It's not the defense, it's not the forwards, it's not Alisson, even though he had the howler against West Ham. I'm not even gonna lie. But in midfield, the problem is here's basically what we used to do. The reason we were nicknamed 2-1 FC is because we'd score goals and then keep the ball, dominate possession, suffocate you. That's not what we're doing right now. Now we score a goal, we score the second, and we're just conceding chances easily. The biggest problem right now is Liverpool go so fast from creating a chance to conceding a chance, and that's the issue. The ball is not being controlled in midfield as it should, so it's not really a defensive problem. People like to, it's just the lazy agenda with the Trent can't defend thing. I'm not even trying to get into that right now because I'll cause a whole war in this thing. But listen, when it comes to our midfield, that's where the issue lies. The issue lies in our midfield, hands down. If we are
did you guys underestimate the loss of Wijnaldum?
No.
I did, yeah.
Listen, two things can be right at the same time. It was time for Wijnaldum to leave, and we were wrong for not replacing him. That doesn't mean we missed him. I don't miss him at all. I'm happy he left, but we just need to replace him.
I mean, when you look at that, though, we did, in a sense, replace him with Harvey Elliott. And we were looking a lot sharper with Harvey Elliott in the midfield. Definitely. If you actually look at the stats, our midfield is actually producing a lot more now Wijnaldum's not there. Now, I'm not saying it's a good thing, because obviously having a player like Wijnaldum in the team, especially when we are, 2-0 up, someone who can control the ball, hold the ball up, and control the midfield would definitely be helpful. But, Curtis Jones has done a fantastic job sort of playing that sort of role, but a bit more advanced as well. It's just the injuries. Harvey Elliott's out, Keita's in and out, the Ox is in and out, Thiago's been out. It's the same as last season with the defence. Everyone's, oh my God, Liverpool gone to third, they're so crap. Hang on, we've got no centre-backs. What were you expecting from us? We've had no centre-backs the entire season. And it's sort of similar in this position. And yeah, of course, we can get into a whole other conversation around transfer policies and whatever. But the reality is, when you have 4 or 5 players out in any sort of position, no team can really prepare for that. And that's the sort of situation we found ourselves in. So, we've had essentially a very rigid midfield over the last couple of games, and I feel there's a bit of burnout on some players, especially Andy Robertson as well. So I just feel that it has been a combination of things, and that's why I was so glad that it was the international break straight after the West Ham game. But yeah, I think it definitely has been coming what happened with West Ham this season. Like I said, apart from the Watford and Man United game, where Man United just played our game and we're obviously going to lose, and Watford just shit. So apart from that, it was it has been coming, and I'm sort of glad it's come now. It's still early enough in the season for us to get the points back and catch up to Chelsea. Hopefully starting with you guys on Saturday.
I'm actually looking forward to the game, and the thing is, obviously we all got a lot of friends, Liverpool friends, etc. and stuff, and for years I've just been getting bantered by you guys, man.
Firmino's the player we're missing.
I'm so glad he's not playing.
If anyone goes on my TikTok, look at my profile picture from my TikTok. It's literally Firmino's no look.
Firmino didn't score a home goal that season, and then
ultimate take the piss that was when he did that. I was like, come on.
That goal is just in my head. Absolutely love Firmino against Arsenal, man. It's something special.
Connors is getting less and less confident as the stream progresses. He's just getting less and less confident. I can see it. I can see it. At the start, he was like, "Yes, we might do this." Now he's like, he's shrugging his shoulders, he's looking down. I'm like, okay, I see.
I'm starting to look at your first 11 actually, and it looks. I can't really see any chinks. The only thing I could say or hope for really is that some of your players are in a dip in form, but your first 11 that I expect to play, we're gonna have problems.
Well, I actually wanted to speak about the 11 as well because, there's been a lot of talk about injuries, from both teams. Obviously, it's looking like we're going to be missing Partey. Xhaka's out longer term at the moment, so he's a long-term
Xhaka
absence.
out?
Yep. It's looking
That's
like
advantage Arsenal right there.
I never thought I would live to see the day when I would say that Arsenal actually, but you only need to look at how we performed against Tottenham and then the complete difference against Brighton in our next game when we drew, and we were lucky to not lose that game. That's when that was the holding up the mirror to my face moment, when it's like, actually, he can be missed sometimes, but there's something about his presence in midfield that, especially when he's playing with Partey as well. Like obviously I know we were playing away at the Amex Stadium against Brighton, but there was a massive, massive difference in the fluidity of our play going forward.
What, King? But one thing I would say with that, I think we underestimated Brighton in the sense that they were right on top of their game. They were, at that point, they were right on top of their game. Yeah, Potter had them drilled. He knew exactly how we played, what we wanted to do, and we couldn't change. And as I said, Brighton were really on top of their game at that point, and it carried on really until they played Liverpool. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game, and I think it will be won and lost in the midfield and possibly those wide areas.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying about the injuries, though, because I think Tierney's out as well.
I'm not worried about Tierney. Time last year, I would have been like, oh, Tierney's out.
Yeah, Nuno's good to be fair.
Same with Osman Robertson, by the way. Same exact thing.
An update from you guys because I've been seeing that Mane's training.
Mane's okay.
Endo trained yesterday, but someone put a list up to me yesterday. One of my mates is a Liverpool fan. There was like 9 names on there. I want to see if I can find that post actually.
GK Liverpool PR for injuries is unmatched.
Liverpool's
we love to lie. We love to lie about our injuries. Trust me. Man is in training. Henderson's in training. Keita's in training. Don't worry about none of that shit. We were lying. I'm telling you our tactic. We're lying. We're full on lying. Man is starting again Saturday. Don't worry.
100%. 100%.
This is a lie. Just a lie. 100%. Everyone's gonna be there, except Firmino, who's out long term. That's it.
I think we need Mane because I think Origi picked up an injury for Belgium apparently. So obviously Jota's going to have to start in the middle, which I'm quite disappointed about. I would love to have seen an Origi masterclass.
Listen,
I honestly think he would. I honestly think, I just want to say, exactly after. It's what I said exactly after the West Ham game. I want Tsimikas starting, and I want Origi starting. So we need to freshen things up.
I reckon Minamino for me. To be fair, I'd rather him.
Play him.
I'll play Minamino. Look, Minamino will absolutely run the show if he actually gets a game.
Oh no!
Minamino.
I think he's got creativity that some of our attackers don't have actually.
Yeah.
I feel like he.
I just think with if we had a big focal point in Origi, we saw obviously he's not in the same build, but we saw how Lukaku bullied Arsenal's defense. Like having a big striker, you're not really comfortable with. And I think it's someone who would challenge in the air. I know he was obviously against Mari rather than Gabriel.
Yeah, Mari and Holding.
Yeah, Mari's virginity got taken that day still.
I mean, look at that. Adam is as diehard United as he comes, and that's what he's got to say about Salah at the moment.
Do we believe that?
According to my guy Tanner, he said, we can defensively stop Salah. So his name has been added to the list. I'm coming for receipts. That's all I'm going to say.
Who would you say, Canners? Exactly, you have to think about it because Salah's the first one. Salah's the first one everyone thinks about.
Is Benzema.
The thing is,
I'd say Benzema.
Football, I just don't think.
No chance it's Benzema. No chance.
Nah,
Don't get me
between
wrong,
those two.
Benzema's stats this season are ridiculous, but the Spanish league is nowhere near the quality of the Premier League. And what
No,
Spanish
Salah's
league,
doing,
plus look who they
what
played in the
Salah's
Champions
doing
League.
to the top teams in this division, Man United, Man City, obviously Arsenal on Saturday.
Even
You know,
the
he's
AC
just,
Milan,
League,
Atletico,
yeah,
Porto.
he's just
I
ruining.
would probably the only play.
Just in terms of form, obviously, I think
Mbappe,
so.
if you want to go for like world players, I'd probably put Mbappe above Salah. If
What, on current form?
no,
We're
not
saying
current
on
form.
form.
I'm talking about we're in current form right now. Yeah, obviously it's like it's
thing
Yeah,
is, for
yeah,
me,
yeah.
this season, Salah is doing something that I haven't really seen too much since his first season. Like, he is putting in like consistently good performances, no matter whether he scores or not. Like last season, don't get me wrong. For me, I think was his worst season. Although he scored a lot, his performances over 90 minutes for me weren't his greatest out of his seasons. But this season, like, he's doing everything. Like, he's picking the ball up from midfield, driving up with it, as opposed to like his usual just being clinical and just great in the box. Now he's showing all elements of his game and improving it. And that's why I think he's obviously the most informed player in the world.
I think for me, with Salah last season, he was one of our better players, and he was dragging us
100%.
out of a lot of difficult situations. I think the whole losing the defence as we did and how important they are to our build-up play obviously affected the amount of chances he had, and was obviously we found ourselves very rigid and very predictable at times. Salah, yeah, you're right. He's gone back to sort of the first season where it was like, oh, fuck this, I'm just going to score, and just going into every game just doing that. And yeah. Long may it continue. And I think he's just trying to get as many goals as he can now, just before January, before he got to AFCON. And yeah, hopefully he.
God, Jake! Oh my God!
That's going to be
and Mane as well.
I'm not looking forward to that.
No, it's only 2 games. It's only 2 games. If Egypt plays Senegal in the final, we're only missing 2 games because they moved it to the international break. So basically, what they've done is AFCON starts in the international break. So the group stages and blah blah will be done in a regular international break, and then after that,
the international breaks in March. The next international breaks in March.
You're losing for a month.
Are you thinking about the Premier League break? Because we do have a week.
Thinking about
the Premier
League.
That's next year.
2nd January to 17 January, basically. Or was it 29 January?
No. You're losing those 2 for a month at the least.
No, I think Husam's right, because I remember reading about this as well.
No, we're losing them for 2 games.
Yeah, like the maximum, if a team gets to a final, that they would miss Premier League fixtures is only 2 fixtures.
But when you think of it, well, I mean, obviously this would be more of a Liverpool show to talk about AFCON and that. But I mean, yeah, in terms of coming into this Saturday, like I said, hopefully he comes back in the same form as he's shown all this season. I think Tavares has made a very impressive start. He looks an absolute talent, but he's still 20 years old. And we've seen Salah put Luke Shaw and Cancelo on our asses this season so far. Don't get me wrong, Tavares, great talent, but I think this is going to be his first real learning experience. This is going to be the game this is going to be the game he comes out of and goes, that is the level I need to get. That I need to find a way to meet that level next time we play. Bloody hell.
I agree 100%. Do you know what though? I think for a lot of this Arsenal team, because most of them are like 23 and under, most of this everybody's talking about we've not had a test, blah blah blah. This for us, for me anyway, away at Anfield is pretty much the ultimate test that this team can have. And listen, if we come out of that with any kind of colours, I'll be. Who knows what this team can do?
I just want to.
You were confident at the start. What happened? Where's the confidence gone?
You know what is actually hilarious, right? Yeah, is Omondi, from the Man United agenda, and certain other United fans, they're turning around to us, and I get what you're saying. You want to see the true test is going to be Liverpool, because the teams that we have won against in this 10-game run, I think bar, Tottenham, Leicester, Villa, their squad is obviously very good, but they got a lot of new players, so they're gelling. You know, a lot of people are saying that we haven't really been tested, and
Leicester away is
you
a
might want to
test.
agree with them to a
Yeah,
certain
Leicester
degree.
was, to be fair.
Why
But
are
I
you
think the
why are you
consistency
entertaining
fans are turning
conversations
around,
with
bro.
United fans?
They are
Why?
turning around and they're saying that this is season defining for us. Yeah, like you know,
Why are you entertaining conversations with United fans? Why?
These
Like
they're
there is,
trying to deflect so bad, it's unbelievable. man.
just listen. Any United fan messages, just tell them, can you count till 5, and that's it. Conversation ends. That's all you need to tell.
But you haven't, like, Arsenal haven't lost a game since the third game of the season against Man City. Yeah, it was your third game of the season. You haven't lost a game. There's your test. Like,
Yeah.
forget what anyone's saying. So any run of that sort of consistency, you look at Man City, they lost to Crystal Palace like a couple of weeks back on their own patch. You guys haven't lost throughout that entire period. So that's your test. Like, you've shown. I mean, for me, you know, I predicted you to finish Europa League spots. I never thought you'd be in the top 4 challenge. And here you are, you know, getting into the busy end of the season, coming up to the Christmas period, as
This
we
is
all
the
love
shakedown,
football
isn't
fan.
it?
Like, this is, you know, and you're right up there potentially. You know, if it happens on Saturday, you'll, you know, go into the next round of fixtures above us.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. So I feel, you know, I don't know if it's a Monday playing mind games or whatever, but anyone suggesting that Arsenal, you haven't been tested or whatever, no, I don't think you're getting enough respect. But I've got to say, like, hearing the way that you two have been speaking, I mean, growing up a Liverpool fan during the Wenger years and everything, I have not heard of such an inferiority complex between Arsenal and Liverpool. Like, you know, hopefully we can scrape a draw, or maybe a win, or as long as, you know, don't give you 80%. I just can never, growing up, I could just never imagine this sort of gap.
I'm gonna have to go
Liverpool
next. Pottsy, I'm old, right? So for me, this has gone full circle. Trust me. I was around in the Liverpool dominance of the 80s and early 90s. Okay, so we're talking like the 80s. I was 15 and 89, and believe me, I went absolutely nuts.
No way.
Yeah, I'm old. So I'm old. So
no way. Are you actually serious?
I'm serious. I'm serious,
crack,
man.
So
I'm old.
Listen, forget Liverpool, Arsenal. Tell me what you use for your YouTube products. Is it aloe vera? Well, what do you use? Is it natural stuff, aloe vera, shea butter? What is it? I want to know.
So
I thought you were like 26.
We'll get the advertisers on afterwards. I'll via Twitter. But no, seriously, and as I said, you know, us coming up, always no one won at Anfield, let alone by 2 goals. We did that, and the thing is, you guys since then, those kind of times have kind of suffered or been kind of like what we exactly. And the thing is now, I know, I remember, it's kind of like always been in the back of my mind, those kind of times when you lot were the team and no one, you know, you lot were just taking heads all over that. It's ridiculous. Nobody won at Anfield, nobody. And the thing is, so I kind of, that's why I'm humble right now, because I've enjoyed the times with Wenger and everything, and us, you know, going to Anfield and getting results and everything. But now I understand, and I remember those times previous. So I appreciated those times with Wenger, but now I'm kind of like, just like, now, come on, man, if we can get something here, because I know what Anfield's like. It's a
question for you guys then. I mean, if you were to pull off the shock of the century and actually win a game at Anfield, like, where would your heads be then, like, in terms of going forward? Do you think you'll be like, did you actually come into this season thinking you were in a top 4 race?
No, for me, this will be such a big moment for the team, right? Because it will give them belief of what they can actually achieve. Because right now they're thinking, you know what, it will be an achievement to kind of get into Europa or whatever, you know, stay in and around, you know, the top 5, top 4 or whatever. We win at Anfield, or even get a good draw at Anfield. A last-minute equaliser would be superb. That would be absolutely amazing.
Connor, say it as it is. Say it as it is. If you get a result at Anfield, your fan base will say you're in the title race.
No. I won't say that. I won't say that.
I'm just talking top 4. Top 4.
What I will be absolutely kind of like happy with was that should show the players and give them belief. And then I'll be like, let's see what these guys can do. Let's see what
I think you can get top 4, I genuinely believe that.
If we get a result against you lot, that will give our
regardless
belief.
Regardless if we get a result or not, because look, I've seen my fellow Liverpool fans will tell you as well the same thing. I've seen the effect one game a week has. Like you're not seeing the effect now. Wait till it's December or January and it's like 100 games in a week. Then you'll see the difference when we have to go play Champions League, come back, play Premier League, then on the Tuesday play Premier League, then on the Saturday play again. You'll see the impact then because you're going to be rested. Your team's going to, basically like practice 6 days a week for one specific opponent. Like you just look at the last 10 years. The 2 examples we have of 2 big clubs having 1 game a week is Liverpool almost winning the title and Chelsea winning the league as well. So it happens. Like if Arsenal finished top 4, I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever. But it's just obviously you would need to win like games specifically against the top 4 rivals like the West Ham, the Man United. I know you guys don't like to hear it, but Spurs with Conte, but they'll bottle it anyway. So forget Spurs. So it's Man United and West Ham with Arsenal. So if you do win your games, you can definitely get top 4. There's no divine right for a team to get top 4. Who said Man United just because they bought Ronaldo and Varane they have to be top 4? That's not how life works. Arsenal were in the top 4 for 20 years and we knocked them off it. So there's no such thing as belongs in top 4. You can knock United off, but you just need to win your games.
No. I make you right on that. And the thing is that for years we took it as granted that we're going to be in the top 4. We got a bit kind of like thinking, what the hell, top 4? It's only top 4. So what? We're in the Champions League. But now,
one time there was like 3 guarantees and like death, taxes, and Arsenal would finish top 4. There was just that period, wasn't there? But what were you saying, Connor? Sorry.
No. Saying that we're getting to the top 4. It was kind of like a given, and we were so kind of like it was like drummed into us that it was like nothing really. But I mean, now, listen, I bite your hand off to get top 4.
I think to get top 4, I think we still need to strengthen further in January. I still look at Liverpool goals scored, Chelsea goals scored, even though Chelsea are meant to be a defensive team. They're not. Yeah. Spoiler alert. They're really
think
not.
at the 3,
they have a solid defense, but they are by no means defensive.
They did get 7 against Norwich, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like so. Yeah. For me, I
they
think
look
that's
unbeatable.
like what we really need to do is get a goal scorer and get another midfielder. Because we've got our own AFCON issues. Liverpool, they're going to be missing Salah and Mane, and obviously, Partey and El Neni, who doesn't feature a lot, but he would have been the natural or one of the natural replacements to come in for Partey anyway. That would leave Sambi and Ainsley Maitland-Niles as our 2 reputable left centre midfielders. So that's for another stream. I personally think.
Who goes to AFCON for Arsenal? Is it Pepe and who else? And Partey,
Pepe, El Neni, and Partey.
Partey the miss, but Pepe not really the miss for being real.
No,
yeah,
so Partey will be a massive miss.
But this is what I've been saying to those United fans that have been trying to. They've been trying to do that because they want to see one of us lose, and they want to have it out with one of us.
United fans?
Yeah, basically. So I just turned around to them and I said, look, usually Arteta's record against the top 6 hasn't been a bad one. Like where he struggled previously has actually been, if you look at our record last season, I think we gave away 6 points to Everton, 4 or 6 to Burnley, 6 to Aston Villa. Any one of those 6 points would have got us in the top 4. Whereas this season, as soon as we've had our players come in, it's actually those teams that we've been beating. I don't really look to the Chelsea and the City game because we didn't have those players in the team at the time. So it's actually the teams in and around us that we should be beating. If we beat those and we stick losing or dropping points to your Liverpools, your Cities,
Yeah, that's what they
your
say.
Uniteds, and your Chelseas, that's how you get top four. You
Yeah,
know, like a
you
lot
can
of
beat
people
everyone
look at
else except the
they
top
put
three
their
before they
vanity
get top
glasses
four.
on. They're like, how can you be a top four team if you're not beating any of the other top four teams?
Yeah, you don't need
Ole
to.
Gunnar Solskjaer's record against the top four is woeful, and in two
Yeah, they
seasons
still
in a
finished
row,
second.
he's got in the top six.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but you don't need to beat the top 4 teams anyway. You just beat
No.
the 16 other teams, and you're good to go.
Yeah,
beat them
exactly.
home and away. That's 70, 75 points. So that's all you need to do. GK, we'll have this conversation back, God willing, in a month from now, December 17, when the December period is coming, and you realize what I said about the 1 game a week thing. Because when Man United have to play a Premier League game, then go play Champions League, then go play Premier League, then play Premier League again in the congestion part, then go play Champions League again, and you're just sitting there like, oh, okay, when's our game, by the way? Karen, when's our game? That's literally you. And then it's just going to be game, and you'll see the effect it'll have on them. The 13-14, at the start of the season, not one man on earth said Liverpool could even contend. And we finished second that season. You know? So.
Yeah, true.
I would. It would have been great if you lot played Shakhtar on a Tuesday or something like that, and then played us on a Saturday. That would have been nice. A good, huge round trip.
To be fair, at this point though, it really wouldn't matter because we're already qualified top of our group. So
True.
hopefully Klopp's just gonna.
Yeah, I hope he does.
Get the under 21s out there. Get a Tyler Morton masterclass.
Carlos, we're not enemies. Don't start beef, bro. We're not enemies. We're friends. We're allies. Come on.
By the way, guys, I just did a little research in this whole AFCON thing, and apparently the players leave. They're supposed to leave on the 26th of December, but I think it can be delayed until after the 28th or the 2nd maximum, 2nd of January.
Second.
And
second we play Chelsea.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we
and
need that.
you lot
We
could
need that.
miss up to those players could miss up to 8 games.
Carlos, let me just give you some inside information. Jurgen Klopp maintains a very good relationship with a lot of the African managers. Like, I'm genuinely telling you information right now. So we could play Chelsea with Mane and Salah, and Mendy won't be there.
Do you know what? Egypt, though, are historically a very, very strong African team, and they've won it in recent. So if they've got a chance of winning it,
so are Senegal too.
Yeah.
Egypt recently though haven't been good, man. Egypt, because I watch a lot of AFCON. This is the worst Egypt I've seen in my entire lifetime. El Neni 20 years ago in the golden generation would not get into the team. Now he's the second star of the team. He's genuinely a star in Egypt, like star. Like 20 years ago when Abu Treka and these players, now like it would be, he genuinely wouldn't get in the team. But
they've got the best player in the world, right?
Yes, they do. But it's the team.
Ivory Coast and Nigeria are the strong.
Look what Ronaldo did with Portugal.
Are you actually serious? You really said Ronaldo did with Portugal? He didn't even play the final,
single-handedly. He was the one who won the Euros, right?
He
was manager in the final.
No, he got.
There's only one Ronaldo I know, and he's bald and retired. That's the Ronaldo I know.
He's got two. He scored like 2 goals the whole Euros, or 2 or 3.
When they both against Wales in semi-finals or something.
Yeah. But one thing though, just for the game, the only way I could see us getting battered by your predicted 4 goals is if we pick up 2 yellow cards, a player gets sent off. That's the only way or issue that I have, is that we have a player that picks up 2 yellows or red or whatever. If we have 11 men on that pitch against you guys, it's going to be a heck of a game. That's my own, or an early bloody penalty or something stupid like that.
We both get done by VAR, so you're not playing Man United. Everything you said is an excuse if you're playing United, because they always get the decisions. We don't. True. And you don't. So it's just going to be, shit referees versus shit referees.
For me, I reckon an early goal will be really good for us, because I'm not too. I'm more worried about your defense as opposed to your attack, and you guys probably believe the same as from watching Arsenal. Like, obviously, attacking wise, you haven't been as good as defensively. So I reckon if we get an early goal, our defense is good enough to maintain it. As long as we resist the pressure that comes once we scored, which we haven't done too well against Atletico and certain teams like that. If we control the game, as you mentioned earlier, with the midfield, If we can just get that going and get an early goal, I think we can have this game easily. It's just the problem with not being able to score against a good defense. That's the bit. We just need Salah on his A game.
I think for me, our best chance, like, look, by the way, I do want to chime in to like what like I feel is an agenda against Trent's defending. Like, it's a hell of a lot better than rivals give it credit for. Like, a lot better. Like, I've looked at the numbers, like, you know, like recovery tackles, aerial duels winning, you know, like, I've seen it. Like, he's like first in like most of them. So I don't understand where this myth comes from. Like, but I do feel that, you know, if Smith Rowe's playing out on that left, I think what you saw in the England game was where we played with a wing back, but Saka wasn't a wing back. He was like another winger. And our system at the moment is very asymmetrical, like for Arsenal in the same way. So Tommy Asu plays a lot deeper, and he'll be told there's only so far forward you can go. And Tierney or Tavares is effectively that other winger that is pinning back that fullback. Yeah, like that is creating an overload that is allowing ESR to come inside. And I think that's why ESR has got more goals this season as well, because he's been allowed to, rather than having to stay outside in that wide area, with that fullback having license to get further forward, he's actually coming across, getting into the box, looking for cutbacks. I think that is our best chance of scoring against you lot.
It's good coaching.
I think
good coaching.
Yeah, and you know, I think you know, with Robertson as well, I've heard a lot of Liverpool fans say that they think Silva should come in as well. I'm
one of them.
Yeah, I think that could be the glimmer of hope that we do have. You know, I think the game's going to be won and lost on fullbacks. I promise you, like on both sides. Yeah, like it's going to come down to that, I think.
I mean, Trent after that, I know it was against San Marino, but some of the balls he was putting in midweek were just unreal, and the confidence hopefully brings from that into the game. But especially
we can't give any free kicks around our box against you.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
And I know Joshua is good in the air. I am impressed with him when he's in the air. So hopefully that sort of link up can happen in a scenario where we can't break you down, or like sometimes we do struggle to unlock defenses, and that like one cross by Trent could change the game.
Yeah.
And we have those sort of players. It's like, of course, like you mentioned something about Trent's defending being a bit suspect, but obviously when you play that high up the pitch, you obviously will get caught out on that side. Like if you play football, like it's just
than his individual ability as a defender. Like
exactly. Like one-on-one, I think that is his worst, but like it's still not as bad as people make it out.
No,
like obviously, if you're going to play that high up the pitch, you are going to get caught out from counter attacks and stuff. But that's what our system is in play for, with Fabinho covering that ground, whatever. And it's just a case that, can we break you down early on? And if we can, then I think we'll be fine. But if we struggle to, then that's the point is where we start spamming crosses in, and that's the bit where we start slowly giving up, and that will open Arsenal to start with that players.
Let me just say one thing about Trent before I hop off, because I do need to go. When it comes to Trent, here's my problem. Two problems. First of all, if his name was Trentino and he played for Barcelona, everyone would own his shirt and be like, "Oh my God, have you seen that Trentino for Barcelona? He's incredible. He's the best right back on earth." But because he plays for Liverpool and he has 3 first names, people want to minimize him. My second problem is 10 years ago, who would everyone say the better right back was? Dani Alves or Arbeloa?
Alves.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course. Who was better defensively? Arbeloa.
Arbeloa, definitely.
Why? Why? So why are people now making this argument suddenly out of nowhere? It just makes no sense.
Trent's no Dani Alves.
I mean, Reece James is not Arbeloa defensively.
22 years old though. You know, like Alves peaked a lot. Later. You know, like.
Yeah, but it's sort of the same thing.
He's definitely a generational talent. Let's have it outright. You know, he is a generational talent. You know,
he's one of the best fullbacks to come out.
I just say Trent's clear of James because I'm an Arsenal fan and I don't like Chelsea, and it's like, no, that just doesn't, you know, it doesn't really give. Look, you saw the other day, right? You know, like, and the thing is, it's the same thing. You know what Husam was saying about Dani Alves, yeah. What other right back in the world at that time There was an abundance of better right backs
Only him could
defensively than Dani Alves in the world at that time, yeah, in his peak. What right back were you picking if you had a free run at any right back? You were taking Alves every day of the week, even though, maybe you're I don't know, you're just picking names out of a hat like Neville or Arbeloa or there was
Luke
tons
Young.
of right backs. Lam was still playing
Lam,
during
yeah.
his prime as well. You could play as fullback on either side. Miles better defensively than Alves was. You're still taking Alves. You're still taking him, yeah. So, we got to thank Trent for his assist for Saka's goal the other day as well. But
Yeah.
I think he's going to be the biggest danger, like the biggest threat. His balls into the box, I don't know. Do you think Salah will play more of a central role in this game?
GK, I do have to hop off. Thanks for having me. Big up your damn self. Big up
Yeah,
everyone as well.
big up.
Pleasure working with you guys.
Pleasure.
I will see you guys later.
Big up, Husam, man.
Big up.
Husam, brilliant. Thank you.
I mean, I think Salah's definitely staying on the wing. That's where he's been our biggest threat. And Canners, don't worry about free kicks or set pieces. We got the two best crossers in the league, and they can't get a dead ball past the first man. So honestly, don't worry about it.
His attempt against West Ham wasn't too bad. Flipping heck.
Because that was a direct shot. If he's trying to actually cross it in from a dead ball situation, they can't get it past the first man this season. Apart from Timmy Cass. Yeah, and this is why we need Timmy Cass. But crosses, they're fine, but it's the dead ball situations that just crap with this season. Plus, we don't have Martin Skirtle anymore, so you don't have to worry about that. But
we've scored a few from set pieces this season. We got a new set piece.
Not as many as we should. With the amount of set pieces we get, with the takers that we've got on those dead ball situations, we should be doing a lot more of our set pieces. A lot more.
I get more annoyed when we get a free kick and the advantage is pulled back as opposed to us carrying on with the ball.
Yeah,
because I know it's just going to be a cross into no one, and especially we're playing like Brighton and we're putting in crosses and they've got centre backs that just clearly are going to constantly beat our players. We don't even have sort of target man. We don't play that. It's just we get a bit desperate sometimes, and that's what happens to us, and it's quite an annoying issue. And
I think the thing with your team is both guys. I mean, Robertson puts in low hard crosses, doesn't he, across the box mainly, and Trent is that bit more. He'll pick out someone. I've been surprisingly, I think, yes, you mentioned it. Surprisingly impressed of how good Jota is in the air. He can't be more than 5'10", 5'11", isn't it? I think, and
like Tim Cahill, which is probably not the best comparison he's ever seen, but when you think of a short player who can do what he does in the air,
and he is a genuine threat, and that's something that we're going to have to watch, because if we do give Trent that time, he will find someone. If we give him time, and that's one of the things I said, that I think the game may well be won and lost in the fullback, in the wing areas. King Gums has chimed in. I'm
here.
Gumza is our tactical guru from the Armoury. I'm looking forward to his breakdown. Hopefully it's a positive one come Monday, because Gumza will break down the whole game and everything.
I've got a question then in terms of the tactics of it, because obviously we say Arsenal been on a fantastic run since the City defeat. Obviously, City are our closest match in terms of play style. You've got more of a settled team now. How, obviously, haven't played any other team who play the way that we play in your run so far. How do you think this team's going to be able to handle it? We saw what we did to Manchester United.
I think you're going to have a lot harder game than you did against United, if I'm honest.
I think so.
Again, sometimes you play teams who don't have as good players, but tactically are set up better. So West Ham, for instance, haven't got, an amazing 11 on paper, if you know what I mean. But as a collective, they play very well together. And I think that's what you're going to come up against Arsenal. I think you're going to have a well-drilled Arsenal who everyone's going to know their jobs, who are going to work hard for each other. you're not going to have them same gaps that you found at United. Like I watched their pressing and it was all over the place. It was like watching my under 15 team pressing. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, there's a player, let me run, rather than think actually let me just contain and hold and slow the game down a bit. Let me get players back into a good position. They were just all over the place. So I do think you're going to have a hard test. But what kind of I do echo what you said. I think if Liverpool get an early goal, it's going to be, what are we going to do? Are we going to try and hold to 1-0 and try and nick something? Or do we become desperate and expansive? And if you do that, Liverpool will hurt you. They will hurt you. So
Listen,
I think
I
discipline is going to be very important.
Yeah, honestly, the worst thing we could do is go there and just try and play safe. I think we've got to put them to the sword. We have to try and
we've got to have an outlet.
Please do, Chris.
You know,
Please do.
I think
if you do, that would really help our goal difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you playing your game will be worse. In terms,
I think what you'll find, what you've seen with what you've seen with Arsenal of late, before, and again, I think this is where Trent gets the bad rep, because his role is an attacking fullback. Like, he's meant to play up high, he presses high, so he will get caught beyond the ball, and someone will try and expose him in his space because of how he plays. What Bellerin used to do that for us all the time. Bellerin notoriously is running back like a madman, and then he would get penalised saying he was bad, but that's partly because his starting position. I think what you'll find is Tomiyasu won't go. Tomiyasu will stay in, and it'll be the left side will get a little bit more freedom potentially. But I think what you'll see is one of our centre midfielders will then cover that hole. So whether it be Sambi or Maitland-Niles. So I think you're going to see more of a balanced 3 or 4 will always kind of be in a good area. Whereas before, at Arsenal of old, when Wenger was there, it was we're leaving 2 man at the back and we're going for the next. So, and that's where United and Liverpool used to have a lot of joy against us. So I feel you will see 2 midfielders who will sit in, and almost what you've seen from Arsenal, if you see the heat maps, Tomiyasu's is quite defensive, whereas Tierney or Tavares get more freedom, and then Smith Rowe comes inside. So I think you're going to see a lot of that. I think Mane is going to have a harder game than Salah, if that makes sense, because I feel Tomiyasu won't leave. And from watching Liverpool, a lot of the crosses coming from the right-hand side. Jota is very good in the air. Mane is not, do you know what I mean? For a small guy as well, he scores a lot. But Tomiyasu equally is quite a solid right back. He's not your typical right back in the size. Do you know what I mean? Again, he can play centre back comfortably. So
I've been very impressed with him.
Yeah. So I think that's where we would benefit with him in there, because I think crosses from Trent, hopefully he would get near Ben White, and we'd almost have a free in there defensively to try and stop. Do you know what I mean? Because we notoriously concede a lot of goals from headers. I remember Sterling got one earlier in the season. Liverpool have numerous goals come from crosses, and we haven't had a player there like Holding gets caught underneath it or Bellerin's too out at the pitch. So I think we will address that against you. But I'm not confident, but I feel we'll give you a better game than we have done in recent years, if I'm honest.
That's where I'm at.
Because, I mean, I think from what we've seen so far, our sort of weaknesses, the way, especially with Brentford and West Ham, the way to get at us is to basically bully us in the air, bully us at set pieces, get the ball, long ball over the top and bully the fullbacks in the air. We saw that against Brentford. Get a target man who can hold up the ball and bring other players into play. Arsenal don't really have that. And that's why I'm, even though you've been on a great run of form, and, I'm probably more worried in a sense that I've, not been concerned about Arsenal for a long, long time. I still feel we should come out with the 3 points in terms of matching up the styles of play.
Yeah, I'm on the same wave. And like Van Dijk, midweek and a couple games for Netherlands, he's looking even better than he did against West Ham, and he had a great game then. And
one-man defence.
Yeah, he is going to be a very, very big challenger. I don't see any of your attackers really posing any of a threat to him. So it's mainly just about taking advantage. Yeah, it's got to be taking advantage of Trent pushing high up.
Trent, yeah. What would define a good season for you lot?
I mean,
Champions League or Prem.
I was going to say, I don't know about you, Yash, but I mean, at the start of the season, I said we can win the title. I thought we would finish above Chelsea. I thought it would be between us and Chelsea. Still feel it can be that way, especially if we can come back with a win this Saturday. But yeah, a true champion, like we look a lot better in the Champions League than we do the Premier League so far. And
I watch Champions League and I don't think many teams know how to handle you lot. Like,
yeah,
I think the pace you lot play out, again, European football is notoriously probably more technical, but a bit slower than the English game, isn't it? And you guys play at such a tempo and pace. Yeah, I can see you blowing away a lot of teams.
Was that they play at a pace, but the technical ability of the players is ridiculous as well. With Mane, Jota, and Salah
from the front,
it's just ridiculous.
Champions League, I think for me, because our lack of our overall squad isn't the greatest for compared to some of the others in the league, like a Man City or a Chelsea. I think they've got very good squads, and seeing Chelsea right now defensively, they just look unbreakable. Like, they obviously had the off game against City, but besides that, like I can't really see Chelsea losing many games. So I think for me, they're like, after seeing a couple, it's still like a 3-horse race, but they're the team that
the worst part about when they lost to City was they relinquished so much possession and still only conceded 1 goal.
Yeah,
like,
they conceded
their
2
goals
goals
laid to siege on. Like, it was one-way traffic, like, and they still only came up conceding 1.
Yeah, because as soon as you get past that wall of a defensive, they've got an incredible goalkeeper behind it. It's just they've conceded 2 open play goals, which is, and they have more clean sheets than goals conceded, which is like a ridiculous stat.
Yeah.
Like, Tuchel has just done something different. And Chelsea, for me, that's why I think they are the best for the league, because they just know how to win games. And with us, I feel like Champions League is the best for us because I think we know how to beat bigger teams, and we can we play our game against everyone. And as teams that aren't necessarily used to playing us, like with this team right now, like I can see them beating any team in the world. I don't see another team in the world, like even Bayern Munich, like they look great going forward, but in terms of defensively, I think we can cause a lot of harm. PSG obviously haven't been the great, so I do think Champions League is probably the most likely thing for us as opposed to the Prem because of our squad.
Yeah, all I'm gonna say is enjoy this moment, guys, because when you hit that decline soon, it's not nice. It's painful. I'm telling you, because again,
exactly.
I grew up in a decline, Domza.
Yeah, but when I listen to Liverpool fans talk, you talk like it's gonna last forever. And again, where you guys sit with, that's why I used to say confidence you guys have. Like, I talk to my Liverpool friends, and the confidence they have going into every game. I remember what it was like at Armoury, where you just knew, like. It doesn't matter who you come against. Even if you get beat, we're still the better team on the pitch. You might just nick something against us, but very rare. Do you know what I mean? You guys go into a game with that confidence, and it drives me insane because it hurts me so deeply at the moment. But I'm looking at your team, and I do think there will be. I think your next 2 years are going to be interesting for you guys because a lot of your players are getting to an age of their 30s. Obviously, who knows how long Klopp's going to stay there for.
I've just clocked onto something here. It's a good question.
Don't do that. I was trying to avoid that, Gunners.
I did a video on this today. Actually, I did a combined 11 based on like current.
Ooh. Yeah, I was going to leave that out, to be honest.
Yeah, I wanted to leave that. I'm sorry, I have to skip straight over it.
Right. But do you know what? Listen,
I'm going to start doing that on the next show. Yeah, we're not going to do that. I'm going to start doing that with the Newcastle fans next week. I wasn't planning to start it.
Do you know what? The thing is, there's an argument I think that could be had for a couple of positions.
Combined 11 right now, I'd say four could get in.
You reckon 4?
Like if I do a combined,
no, you're being kind. I was saying 1.
I'm saying
based on current form, I could go 4, but overall,
I would say Gabriel instead of Matip.
I wouldn't.
Yeah,
no?
I was thinking more Ben. I was on a Ben White.
Maybe.
Ben, okay.
Ramsdale has probably been better than Alisson, like based on current form.
Interesting thing about Gabriel, the last time we lost the game.
Don't say it.
With Gabriel in defence, the last game that we lost with Gabriel in defence was against you in April. That's nearly 240 days.
We'll just get ready to repeat it.
Yeah.
How long's he been out for that?
You've killed me.
How long has he been out for that?
Huh?
Isn't that when Jota scored that header? Like, was that against him? Yeah.
Oh, it was the Trent Cross one. It was absolutely.
Yeah, that was a
pinpoint.
beautiful ball.
Yeah.
Absolutely
3-0.
pinpoint.
Was it 3-0?
Yeah.
3-0. We had no centre backs.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was frustrating, that game. We just didn't go at you. We just got in there and sat in.
Was we
that
out?
was your best
We got to
opportunity
like the 60th
for a long
minute,
time.
70th minute without conceding, and then you brought Jota on fresh
Yeah,
legs,
just changed the game.
and he
scored 2. Yeah,
he ran riot on us.
Tierney, Tierney's not getting in that.
I mean, for me, I'll probably say two Arsenal players on current form. I think Ramsdale's looking really, really good, to be fair. And I think I'm worried. My major concern is that he's going to have like a real Nick Pope game against us. Like Pope always turns up against us at Anfield, and my main concern is that Ramsdale is going to have that sort of game. But I've got to go for Alisson over Ramsdale any day of the week. I think left back position, I like Tavares, but to be honest, I go for Tsimikas over anyone at the moment for us. Tsimikas has been our best left back this season. He's been fantastic. For me, the Arsenal players that get in, I'd go with the 2 youngsters. Smith Rowe, put him in the midfield, and Saka for Mane.
Saka for Mane?
I'm not on that, to be honest. But
I like Bukayo Saka. I like his versatility. And to be honest, Mane, he just hasn't really recovered from last season. He's got a few more goals this year.
But I hear that performances.
In terms of his performances, in terms of his ability to run past players. I remember his debut for us when he destroyed you with his goal.
Oh, yeah. That
first game of the season, they put that 4-3 at the Emirates, and he just came on and ran riot. And he did the same thing at Anfield as well. He just cut in from the right and just took past 2 or 3 before curling it in the corner. He seems to have lost that ability. It's just gone. And Saka, I just think I love Saka from last season. I think he's a fantastic talent, and ESR has really grown on me this year. And I think he would add something to the middle of our midfield, probably in place of Keita.
I will have that apology letter, Yash. If it's the last thing I do, the ESR apology letter, bro.
It's building.
I did read reports the other day that his valuation now is estimated at 76 million. I said it would be a few seasons when I think he would become. Let me give everyone else that's listening, a bit of context. So whilst I was away in Italy, right, we got talking about ESR. And I think it was just after Grealish had gone. And I said ESR could one day be a £100 million player. And these guys, they were like, no chance. None at all. They were like, is he going to get into the England squad with the competition ahead of him?
I don't think so. I still don't think so.
Too soon for that.
I still don't think so for a major tournament.
It's too soon for that.
I don't think he travels.
I'm going to say right now, this is what I believe, Ben White, Ramsdale, ESR, and Saka are going to the World Cup. Quote me on it.
Ooh. I don't know.
Pending injuries.
I said it.
Yeah.
Those 4 are going. Yeah. If they keep this form up, they are.
How many of them are playing though?
I don't see ESR going, if I'm honest. If everyone's fit, ESR doesn't go. I think it's easy to leave out. Do you know what I mean?
Too much competition in that position.
Yeah, it's safe to leave him.
Sancho keeps doing what he's doing on the bench.
Yeah, but there's other players in there as well, aren't they? Like, I get Sterling's not really playing at the moment either, but
it's been unreal.
Yeah, but Sterling will always travel. Harry Kane will always travel.
Yeah, England managers still like to pick their favourites as well.
Yeah,
let's not forget. Like Roy Hodgson used to pick Danny Welbeck when he was on your physio bench. Like, it didn't matter. Don't matter if he was out. Don't matter. 6 months, he had a broken leg. He was on the pitch with crutches, Danny Welbeck, for England. And same with Jack Wilshere. I remember when Jack Wilshere came back, played the last game of the season for you guys, and was in the Euro squad.
Yeah, he was still the best. He was still the best player on the pitch. That's why it doesn't matter. He could go. One game. That's all he played that season. One game, and he was still in the Euro squad. So I think Southgate is similar. I think he has his favourites, and that's where it may affect ESR from getting in. But again, it's all down to form. I think it's too soon to be talking about £100 million player, and that's there are youngsters who have the one-off seasons. Remember Januzaj, Man United,
it looked an absolute talent in his first year and then disappeared. Like, it could happen. Just saying. But it's just too soon to make that comparison.
Well, I don't think it's going to. No, it's the
like
way
your
this
comment.
kid's going.
I hope
right?
not, 'cause it's great for England. You know, it's great for England. So I hope not. But you know, like I said, it can happen in this game.
Guys, I'm gonna have to cut out. Apologies,
Yeah.
guys. I'm gonna leave you.
What I was gonna say is, like, I was
in a bit,
gonna
bro.
wrap it up. What I wanted to do
Take
before
it
I go, Cannons, take it easy, is get score predictions from the rest of the people. So I guess, Yash, if you want to go first, score predictions.
4-1. I reckon we. I reckon,
put some respect on my name, bro.
I reckon we go early. I reckon we go early and we take the game to you, and then we get an early goal. And I reckon a set piece, you might have it. I'll go bold with the prediction. I don't want to go safe and say like 2-1, but I'm saying like we can put some goals past you. I reckon.
Okay. And
3-2.
Pottsy?
I'm saying 3-1.
3-1.
To be honest, I think again, you know, we do definitely need like a first half goal or something. We can't allow you to frustrate us. I'm not too worried if you score first. I know your defense is a lot better, but you've generally scored first, to be fair, in a few games at Anfield. Maitland-Niles, Lacazette last season, you know, and obviously we've always come back. So 3-1. I think we'll get the 3 points that we need.
So 4-1 and 3-1 so far. Thumbs up.
Don't come this way. Don't come this way.
Me, man.
Don't come this way.
I'm the host, man. The guests have got to go first, man.
My head is saying Liverpool will beat us.
What's the score?
My heart 3-2. It's weird because we don't score many, but I think Liverpool will give up chances to a certain degree. Do you know what I mean? You play expansive, so there will be opportunities. Not from us actually kind of like outplaying you, but it would just be on a counter. We might be able to nick something. My heart says 2-2. Now, I've got a sneaky feeling Lacazette's going to cause you a lot of problems. He seems to do not too bad. Even if he doesn't score, he seems to be a handful for you lot. And I think he could be the one player we lean on. Do you know, I'm going to go bold. I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal, and Lacazette's going to be an absolute, have a worldie of a game. That's my guy. I'm going 2-1. I'm going bold. I'm going 2-1. I've got faith in these boys at the moment. A bit of faith.
Go on in, Chris. Here you have it.
I think 2-1's the correct score.
You go the other way.
I think 2-1's the correct score. I think it could go either way. But I think it's more likely to go Liverpool's way, as much as it pains me to say this.
What have we become?
But as I said, look, I just want to be clear. Like, I'm looking at this game, I'm looking more at the performance side. I'm looking at, you know, if we do lose, how do we respond against Newcastle and against United? United are there for the beating. Like, we can go Old Trafford.
That's the game we've got to win.
It's like he heard, Amondi,
Amondi.
We can go United, We can go United and worry less, about going to Old Trafford than Anfield right now, As long
100%.
This guy's he's become a Liverpool fan now. Look at this. Look at this.
Amondi does love Liverpool. He does love Liverpool, Amondi. He would never openly admit it. He always says that he respects us or something. He loves us. He loves Liverpool.
Wow, ESR,
Lacazette
and Aubameyang. I can't see us scoring 3 goals against Liverpool.
I mean, it'll be really harsh for those 3 to get the own goals for you, but you know, whatever you go for.
No, man. All I want to see is, as I said, you know, like, can we cause you some trouble?
Yeah,
you know?
I was sort of see a better performance than we have in recent years.
I mean, United, they didn't get near the ball against you and City at all, and I genuinely feel like you know, this Arteta Ollie thing can just die now. Like, it can go away now.
Not even a competition.
100%.
This guy, we might not. You know, we might have had 2 soft seasons. Last season, I remember when we played Burnley, we drew 1-1 with them. Xhaka tried to play a pass from outside the box. It got intercepted. They scored. And still, after that, continued to play from out the back. He still had them playing the same way. Now he's got those players to actually be able to implement that system.
He's a good coach.
It's looked.
Do you know, I've always said.
Whereas I look at United, I'm like, what are you trying to do it? Like, you've just put 11 players on the pitch, and it's almost like you're expecting them to ad-lib it, to work it out, to figure out the rest. Because
as I said to you, Gunner,
they're not trying to. I can describe from the back to the front, as I said. Our right back sits deeper, our left back goes forward. So that the system there is overloaded on the left-hand side. When we've got the ball out from the back, the 2 main components of distributing the ball out of the back into midfield and into the final third are Ben White and Ramsdale. So if it's not Ramsdale clipping balls over the top, the ball's going to Ben White. If he's not passing it into midfield and people are backing off him, giving him space, he'll run into it. And he'll create an overload that way by just carrying the ball forward. That's literally our pattern of play at the moment. Like you look at United and it's like, where is it? What are they? You see the consistency in these patterns that we are playing. Like, I just don't want to see us end up getting beat 5-0 or 4-0 or even 3-0. I want to see it respectable. And at least us not trying to think this is Liverpool, so we've got to change the way that we play, because it has kind of got us this far now, and we have got the players now. So I think I know Pottsy, you think it's crazy, but we can control. Obviously, Klopp's whole thing is the Gegenpress, not allowing people to have that space and time right up from the top. The
thing for me with that though, Chris, is that you've been on a great run for a while, but the 2 teams that I remember you really struggling against were 2 really hard-working teams, and that was Brighton and Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
And that plays into our repertoire, the hard-working, constantly pressing. That is what we do. So
I think what you say is correct, and we struggled massively against both of those teams. But obviously on the breakdown, what I'll be doing is looking at how we combat it. I think what was key, I'm not too sure if you ever saw Aubameyang's tweet. He came out and said, like, we stopped playing football, and I think that was the big issue in them games. We got scared and started playing not the Arsenal way, not saying that we're fantastic at it, but we're not designed for long balls like that. And what we did against Palace and Brighton, we just surrendered possession, ended up just sitting deep and just taking attack after attack. And we wasn't brave when we played football. Like, we was trying to play. There was, again, players were nervous, didn't want the ball, and then we just clipped it forward. So I think what you'll see after the Palace game, there's a tweet Aubameyang put out saying, like, that's the last time we do that. We have to keep playing for 90 minutes. And since that game, you've seen a big difference in how, when we've gone 1-0 up, rather than say, right, it's 10 minutes till half time, let's sit in, we've continued to try and get on the ball and dominate possession and play. And I think that will be a big difference. However, Liverpool are the kings of the press at the moment. So it's going to be risky, but we did it in the Charity Shield against you. I know it wasn't, do you know what I mean? It's Charity Shield, it's not the Premier League, but I feel we have to stick to some form of how we play, because, and I think it takes you back to Liverpool when Klopp first come in. Remember, he was getting slated for playing his way. And I know I've got Liverpool fans who at the start Klopp out. They're like, why is he selling our backup striker? We ain't got a plan B. All I can hear from my friends is, we have no plan B, we have no plan B. But Klopp stuck to the philosophy of, this is how I want to play. And actually, if you don't fit it, like Benteke didn't fit it, you need to come out. And all of a sudden, with one, it just clicked just like that. Do you know what I mean? Because you were scoring a lot, but you were conceding a lot. And then Van Dijk and Alisson come in, and you guys have just skyrocketed. So I think that an element of Arteta has to be believing what he's doing. And if you get beat 3-2, you get beat 3-2, but you've got to believe in your philosophy. Because the moment he changes, what does that say about your team then? What does that say you as a manager?
I'd rather we did that than went there, tried to play for a draw and lost anyway. Because that's what will happen. If you try and play for the draw against this Liverpool, you will lose. Like, it's that simple. Like, so it comes down to a case of, you know, because that's what it looked like United were doing. It really did look like that. You know,
I
like,
told you, United play esports.
Like-
We're playing Football Manager out here. They're playing esports. Like, they're not even on FIFA.
The thing with Man United, I mean, they are basically a FIFA Ultimate Team with 95 Team of the Week rated players, but chemistry of 40.
No green line.
There's just nothing there, like, in terms of tactics or anything. That's the big issue with them. But in terms of like you mentioned, like the philosophy, and obviously Klopp is God. You know, when I die, I'm gonna go and hang out with Klopp. You know, I'm gonna go to his pearly gates and watch Liverpool forever and ever. Like, that's what's gonna happen, because he is God. But the reality is, like, even with Klopp's philosophy, which is one of the most intense philosophies in the game, we do struggle against 10 men behind the ball teams. We struggle a lot with them. So there is, you know, a sort of a downside to his philosophy, just like there is to every other manager's. And I think the downside to Arteta's philosophy is the struggling against the hard-working teams that will constantly press you, like Brighton, like Crystal Palace, and obviously like we're going to on Saturday.
I think that's more of a player thing, in my opinion. Like, I don't think Arsenal necessarily have the most pressure-resistant players, and sometimes they tend to, they will capitulate if a team like us are just relentless on them with the ball. And the quality in their players, don't get me wrong, they have quality, but they don't necessarily in the midfield are able to pick up the ball with 3 players swarming in on them, 2-3 players on each player, constantly pressing and being able to get out and distribute the ball. This is where I think we will get an early goal.
Yeah.
And then that will just cause Arsenal's downfall.
I think Ramsdale's going to be key to this. I really do. Because his ability to pass out is going to be vital, because the way Liverpool aren't going to take a back step, we're going to say, go on then, keep playing. So he's going to have to be able to clip that thing into certain areas where we can now get out the pitch, because as I said, against Brighton and Palace, we literally, we was just hoofing balls up. Brighton have got two 6'4" defenders and a 6'7" defender, and we're going long. Like, do you know what I mean? It's a recipe for disaster. So, yeah, and again, you look at the Liverpool back line. If Fabinho is in front, and then you've got Van Dijk and Matip, that's a big. Do you know what I mean? Even Konate is a monster. So you lot are quite solid there. So we need to be careful. So we need to be able to hit the wide players like Saka and Smith Rowe and get them to turn and get us forward. So I think Ramsdale's going to have an important role distributing, because your front three aren't going to let Ben White and Gabriel have that ball to play out easy. So I don't think we're going to see much Ben White, do you know what I mean, stepping into the midfield like he has been. I think Liverpool are going to really go at us. So it's going to be interesting.
I can see Salah doing what he did to David Luiz to Tavares if he's playing. I think he's gonna have a mare. Tavares. I don't know. It's so difficult to defend Salah right now, because he's got everything to his game and he's feeling like the top of the world, and that is the point where it's the most difficult to defend a player. I don't think anyone in the league on the left can even give him a sort of challenge, and I think he's going to be the key to us scoring, as usual.
The thing is, like what I did notice when Ismaila Sarr came up against him, Sarr is quick, very quick, very robust physically as well.
So
and there were actually occasions where Sarr did find himself a yard or two in behind Tavares. Tavares just ate up so much ground and was just like, you're going nowhere, mate. Like, he's fast, man. He's got a lot of recovery pace. I think if Salah gets on the other side of him, he's not going to have. Yeah, he's not going to have.
It's not Salah's pace though that we're
5 yards.
We don't. It's not Salah's pace that we focus so much on or need. It's what he does in a one-on-one against the defence, and that's why he's turning Man City and Watford defences around when he's moving.
Even
the worst thing he's done was
the biggest challenge.
What he done to Ogbonna and injured him for the season without touching him is just disgraceful.
Exactly.
I felt so sorry for the guy.
Like, did Ogbonna get injured from that?
His knee's gone. Yeah, his knee ligament damage, and Salah didn't touch him. Just a body feint, and his body didn't know what to do. So Salah's a different kind of animal at the moment. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I'll be honest.
He's going to be the one, I think.
That's why I think Maitland-Niles is going to play, because I think between him and Tavares, they're quite quicker across the floor. And again, like you're saying, he's pacey, don't get me wrong, but it's the quick and sharpness of his turns. And I think Maitland-Niles is quite quick over 5 yards, and so is Tavares. So I think that's why you might see Maitland-Niles playing that left centre midfield position to almost try and double up out there and help out. Because I think if Salah gets one-on-one with Gabriel is curtains, because Gabriel is not clumsy, but he's got that rashness about him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
but his turning circle isn't very quick either. Yeah, so like you know, Salah will he's not. That's what Ben White's there for. That's how that's the dynamic of the defensive partnership. He's the one that's going out to meet the man. And Amondi keeps talking absolute rubbish about him when he's a million miles clear of Maguire this season.
It's right. We're going to see Amondi on the second.
Yeah, we'll see you on the second, bro.
And I can't wait.
The thing is, it's like with going into it's like with the players that you have in the midfield, I think that is the battle that's going to be what changes the game. Because for us, that's been our weakest point, our midfield. And I think if you can outplay us in the midfield, like even West Ham did, Declan Rice was just everywhere against us. And like even against Brighton, they had a good midfield as well. And the way that their second goal was when Lamptey just ran straight through our midfield, put a nice ball into Trossard, who just done really well. And I think that is where you will cause us the most damage. But other than that, if you can manage to beat the press of the midfield and like dominate us there, I think that's the only way I can see you guys getting a result. Because in terms of our firepower, it's very difficult. Because our goal record, like there's not many games where we scored less than 2 goals. I don't even remember a game where we scored less than 2 goals. Our firepower up front has just been unstoppable. It's just sometimes we've been a bit leaky at the back, but I reckon the midfield is where the battle is for you guys to win. So your strongest, but you guys missing Partey is going to be very, very big for us.
That's a massive miss.
I've always been a fan of him. Unfortunately for injuries, and I saw him a lot at Atletico, and I was a big fan of him. And I think he's a crucial player in that team, and he's been very good for you guys in the past. How many games where you guys have just been winning? Because him and either Lukonga or Maitland-Niles or whoever's playing in midfield, when he's there, he offers that protection that similar to how Fabinho does with us. I'm not obviously Fabinho does it, is an elite player, but he offers that similar role, and against us, that is a kind of good role to have, similar to how Declan Rice was playing last week. And I think that is the only way I can see you guys getting a result is if the midfield that Arteta gets it spot on.
Yeah. I'm with you. Sorry, last couple of comments. Amondi's having a field day. Amondi, you shouldn't even be here. Brother, go and worry about what Tottenham and
this is grown people's talk, bro.
Yeah, brother.
Go run along and talk to the Paxton Road gang, yeah? That's your level now, yeah? Go talk to Paxton Road, man. We don't want to hear that talk around here, bro. Yeah?
But, right, I think is that time now, Gunner?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think it's been great to have you guys on as well.
No, thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Yeah.
We definitely, obviously, like me, Yash, and Potts do a lot on the TikTok together as well, lives and stuff there. But yeah, I know Yash, you were talking about potentially doing some Twitch.
Yeah,
you've got some Twitch plans as well. Potts, are you on Twitter?
No. Well, not as Pottsy Talks Footy anyway. I might start getting more into it. I wanted to grow the following a bit more on TikTok first before.
It's a toxic place.
I mean, I've got a Twitter account. I know it's
TikTok. TikTok's bad, but Twitter is something else.
Twitter is it's the worst in terms of the toxicity. But yeah, right now just staying on TikTok, get those millions of followers on, and then maybe something else after. But keep growing the base first. Keep growing the base. But I will be doing the live for the Liverpool versus Arsenal match. So I will be on live. Obviously, if any of you guys are on as well, it'll be great as well to obviously just, like I said, have Liverpool versus Arsenal watch along stream together on TikTok as well.
I don't think I've got that in me, if I'm honest.
Good.
You don't do your thing. I ain't got that in me. I need to be in a room by myself, ready to turn my phone off. Because to be fair, you guys, I'm cool. I'm happy with you guys. Like I was gonna say, I didn't want to come on the stream because some Liverpool fans are too arrogant for me. I can't take them. Rightly so, they deserve to be at the moment, but they drive me mad because I can't say nothing to them. So it feels nice to have some. You know,
I'm not really
going.
No, these two are all right.
I'm not really
yeah,
a
love.
fan
And
that, like, is,
I'm a
goes
big
out
believer in football karma, so like I always
I'm with
just
you on
try
that.
and keep
I'm not really a fan of like bantering. I don't know. I've just hit that point where I'm not really
I've enjoyed
unless it's Man
being
United.
like
I love fans. I can banter Man United all day, but
they're like Tottenham, aren't they? So yeah. It's just them in it. They're just in the mud. Monday's still going.
On that note, we'll probably wrap things up. I do just want to remind Mondi that Ollie is at the wheel and United are back. Yeah. and to just wish you all the luck against
everyone make sure you
Watford.
subscribe as well.
Yes, absolutely, man. Everyone hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, drop some comments in the thread afterwards at the end. Obviously that really helps the channel grow. Go and follow all these guys, you know, on TikTok, you know, if you're not already. And yeah, stay tuned. We'll be doing a lot more stuff together as well. But
thank you very much, Chris.
Right.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, Yash. Gunza, have a good one.
And you, mate. Take care. Hopefully you'll hear from me afterwards. And if not, just check. If you don't hear from me,
depends on the result, Gunza. Depends on the result.
If you don't hear from me in a few days, come and check up on me, please.
Catch you guys in a bit.
Take care, guys.
Thank you.